Hi guys, welcome to today's travel segment in our 7 Days to Better Challenge. Today we're going to talk about the day that you're actually ready to fly. So whether you are flying off the runway or flying down the highway, there's a couple things that you can do or take into consideration to make this day a little more smooth and enjoyable for you. So first off is preparation. I feel like there's nothing worse than being stressed and rushed the day that we're trying to meet a departure time or get on the road at a certain time to be at our destination on time, right? So I like to lay out the clothes that I'm going to wear the night before, and this is true if I'm traveling with my kids. Each of them have their clothes set aside. All of the bags are already packed, either next to the door if we're going to be taking a shuttle or a lift, or they're packed into the car. Now, if you're going to be going on a road trip, there's some really great organizers that you can purchase either for the trunk that can help you hold some of your maybe food items, or there's some great ones that you can hang on the back of the seats where you can put your crayons and coloring books and different items for the kids, or easily accessible snacks. Also, if you're driving, many people like to rent cars to kind of slow down the wear and tear on their vehicle. And so I really like the Chrysler Town & Country because of the stow and go seating. There's a lot of storage underneath the ground. So we've actually owned 2 Town & Countries in my home because we really love them a lot with traveling with our 4 kids. So also, if you're going to be driving, make sure that you're filled up on gas. Generally, Costco is going to have your least expensive gas option. So if you're a member at Costco, then I would fill up there. Make sure to check that your tires have been rotated, check your oil, get an oil change if you need so that your car is ready to go and you don't have any hiccups along your trip. Also, Gas Buddy is a really great app that can tell you where gas stations are along your drive. It also tells you the difference in prices. Obviously, if the price difference is only a minute or a cent or 2, it's not going to make a big difference, but sometimes they can range up to 25 cents per gallon. The other apps that I think are really helpful on your road trips is Yelp. Yelp is a really great way that we can find great restaurants. I used to just kind of end up eating at places that I didn't really like because I didn't know where to find a better restaurant. It was just whatever I came to is what I ate at. So Yelp has really helped me be able to look at the menus ahead of time. I can see other ratings. You can look at like price rates. And so that's really helpful, mostly nationwide. If we're traveling internationally, then TripAdvisor tends to be a little bit more helpful for some other countries. Now, when you're driving, also make sure that you stop and stretch. Really, really important to avoid driving while sleepy. Sleepy drivers, I think they're way worse than any other type of driver. So be responsible for the safety in your vehicle, but also the safety of the vehicles around you. And this also goes for texting while driving or doing anything on your phone that could be distracting. Now, one thing that we can also look at as far as apps is navigation. Waze, spelled W-A-Z-E, is a really great navigation app because it has other drivers on the road that are giving feedback, whether there's an accident or maybe there's a police radar. So that gives you some real-time feedback from other drivers on the road. Now, when we're flying, I've already talked about the other day how you want to have your neck pillow, maybe your blanket, or your, the scarf that I talked about. Headphones are really fantastic to have. Now, generally, when I'm with my kids, I like to limit their screen time, but traveling specifically on a plane is when I make an exception because there's other passengers around and we just want everybody to be comfortable and well behaved, right? So they'll kind of rotate between coloring and reading and maybe playing a game or watching a movie. I also really like to travel with a couple items that keep our health up. So these On Guard throat lozenges are really great for boosting your immune system, especially in the plane where we're getting circulated air. Now, this On Guard blend actually has cinnamon, which is great at boosting your immune, clove, which is really high in antioxidants, rosemary, eucalyptus, wild orange, and it's phenomenal. So this comes in a spray that I can spray down the seat back, any area. I spray down hands if we're needed to before we're eating. So this is really great at keeping all of those germs away. I also have it in a roll-on where we swipe the back or the feet. In fact, yesterday we were at an amusement park and my kids got this applied on them multiple times. Frankincense is another really great one. The saying is that when in doubt, use frankincense. It's really great for any type of stress, any type of moods, and great on your immune system. It also, I like it for flying because it doesn't have a really powerful aroma, and you do want to be conscious of the people around you that might be sensitive to stronger smells. Lavender is another one that I really like. I fly a lot and I still get a little bit nervous, so this is a really great one just for creating a calm, relaxed environment when flying. Also, when you're going to the airport and you're checking in your bags, I've had some experience checking in bags, and sometimes I just struggle getting that weight at the weight limit, and every airline will kind of vary depending on what you're allowed for weight, so make sure that you know that and try to weigh it. Now, if you are a little bit overweight, my tip that I would give you is to do the curbside check-in. So you can check in curbside. It's generally expected about $1 per bag as a tip, and if you just hold your tip in your hand as you're checking in, they generally won't bother you if you're a little bit overweight. So, I mean, if your bags are a little bit overweight, that is, right? So you generally have a 3-1-1 rule also when it comes to your liquids. You can't pack any liquids over 3.4 ounces, and they allow you 1 quart-sized bag for every 1 passenger. So if you remember that, then keep all of your liquids, you know, easily accessible to take out when you're going through security. It doesn't necessarily need to be in a clear plastic bag. I just set mine directly in the tray because I try to limit my consumption of clear plastic bags. So you can set it in the tray. They just need to be able to see that. And anytime you're wearing, you know, belts, or like I have metal on my jewelry, you might take that off. Or if you're wearing a necklace down the front of you, switch it around to the back so that if it does set off the sensors, then the back is the area that they're going to have to pat down versus the front. So that's something just to be conscious of. You want to remove your laptop, and then just remember to take a deep breath and just enjoy the process of traveling, because it's not always about the destination. Sometimes it's about the journey.